Hey, what's going on out there? I'd like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So I was going through my email the other day, and bow, I received a notification. A notification popped up, and I'm like, it's Delta Airlines. They saying hello. Then after they said my name, they started to mention how they heard their customers and their Sky Miles members' voice, and they decided to update on some changes. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. Not so much the updates, because I'm sure there'll be videos all over the YouTube credit card space in regards to what the updates are for Sky Mile credit card members, and of course American Express Platinum and American Express Business Platinum, and you know, those cards. So a few weeks ago I made a video, and that video was in regards to Delta making changes. Delta Airlines, they made changes in regards to their airport lounge for the Delta Sky Club access. And they reduced American Express Platinum card holders down, as well as their own Delta Reserve card holders down. I believe they reduced the Delta Reserve down to 10 visits per year. And I initially thought for the American Express Platinum that they got reduced to 5, but in the updated email from Delta, it actually says 6. So the Platinum card members were reduced to 6 visits to the Delta Sky Club per year. And if you really do the math on that, let's say someone travels twice a month or maybe even twice every other month. They're pretty much cutting it close when it comes to being able to have lounge access with that. So a lot of people were up in arms. A lot of people spoke out. And I initially thought, especially you can see this in my video, I initially thought that maybe we were headed towards the end of the partnership between Delta and American Express, because that's the way it was seeming. And with this recent update, and with Delta speaking out a couple of weeks ago, saying that they were going to consider making some changes as far as updating their rules for their Delta Sky Club access, I knew something was up, and I knew the partnership between Delta and American Express probably wasn't ending. And I'm sure American Express and Delta had a behind the scenes meeting as well. And American Express probably was like, hey, we're losing card holders. A lot of people, they more than likely canceled their card once Delta came out with that information. And I always wonder about the back end, because there will still be some back end effects. I believe that a lot of people who did decide to cancel their cards with American Express, whether it was the Platinum or the Platinum Business or the Delta Reserve, whatever it may have been, I feel like a lot of those people are not going to come back to American Express now. I don't think they're coming back. I think they're going to stay gone, especially with the way that the economy is currently trending. I just think they'll be like, hey, I don't want to put on the amount of times that I could visit an airport lounge, especially if I'm paying this big credit limit. So we're still going to see and witness that domino effect of the initial changes that Delta decided to make like a couple of weeks to a month ago. But what they did now is they're giving people their lounge access back, as far as giving them more access. So instead of 10 days for the Delta Reserve and the Delta Reserve Business, you now get 15. And instead of 6 days for the American Express Platinum and the American Express Business Platinum, you now get 10 days. Now, adding 4 more days on and adding 5 more days for the Delta Reserve, maybe it'll make a difference for some people. But as I stated, what about the people who travel often, maybe once every week? They're not really going to be fans of that. If they combine the Delta Reserve and the Platinum all together, they'll get 25 days. But some people may need more than 25 days. It all depends. We just can't assume that everyone doesn't travel as often, because a lot of people travel a lot for business and a lot of people travel a lot for work. So we have to consider that. But as I mentioned in this video, what this proves to me is that the consumer still has power. If you're a credit card holder, especially a premium credit card holder with these credit card companies, you still hold power. If enough of us band together and voice our concerns, they'll eventually pivot. And I think that's with any business for the most part. A lot of times when businesses are shortchanging people, they continue to do so because enough people don't band together and speak out. So with this situation, you had not only the Sky Miles members and the Medallion members speaking out, you also had the people who are American Express card holders speaking out. And if you combine that, I knew eventually either the merger between Delta and American Express was going to end, or they were going to come together and fix whatever issue that they had and come up with a solution. I still don't believe it's a big enough solution to get some of the people who did decide to cancel their cards to get them to come back. But you know, it is a step. Maybe it'll make some people happy. Maybe it'll make majority of the people happy. I hope it do for their sake. However, this just shows the power of the consumer, and it also proves the power of these card holders when it comes to these cards. You know, Delta, as I stated, they're my favorite airline. I always choose to fly Delta when I have a flight. Like I stated in my previous video on this ordeal, I said I feel like I'm a little bit too loyal to Delta. But there are reasons for that. They work well with my credit cards, and I always appreciated the service when I flew with Delta. But it is good to see some changes, especially for people who are new to this or people who have been around a while for this. And they were like, hey, why are they reducing Sky Club access? I think what this is ultimately leading to for Delta as well as American Express, they're either going to have to build bigger lounges or they're going to have to build more lounges. It's going to be one of those things because more and more people are gaining access to the premium credit cards that give them access to the lounges. And eventually, as you can see from what's been happening lately, things are going to burst and people are going to start complaining about the overflow in the lounges. I'm not a fan of the overflow in the lounges, but what do you want them to do? You know, I think eventually they're going to have to create more lounge access, especially if they're not going to start revoking some of their memberships on a higher level. So we'll see where it goes. But this story basically tells me that the consumer still holds power. If you're new here and you're feeling the vibes, this is Water Your Soil. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss a future video. Also, this goes to every single one of you. Be sure to hit the like button. That's your way of showing support. It helps the algorithm circulate this video. We got a couple of haters out there who come by, hit the dislike button purposely as soon as they lay eyes on the video without watching it. But what are you going to do? So I focus on who supports and who shows love. And I appreciate every single one of you for doing so. This is Water Your Soil. I appreciate you all for watching, and I'm out. Wait. Before you leave, be sure to check out the description box below. That way you can have all the credit resources from Water Your Soil. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button as well, all right? In the description box below, I always tell people, check out the description box below for extra resources from Water Your Soil. Part of the description box also showcases my book that I have. I have a book. It's been out for a while now. It's been out for years. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. The book is available. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. Most online bookstores have the book. And the book is basically about how FICO credit scoring works. Once you understand how FICO credit scoring works, you're pretty much on your way to helping yourself build, develop, and maintain a good credit score. So check the book out whenever you get a chance.